process, but I feel like as far as kind of getting further and further along, we're at the point now where we can begin to try to ramp it up a little bit more. We've been in constant communication, whether it's with Dr. Alchek with the shoulder surgery or Dr. Watkins with the back surgery. We've been in constant communication with them, making sure that, when we progress these steps, that it's not going to do anything to kind of set us back. So for now, we're still in the rehab process, but, I guess, baby steps are, still steps in the right direction.
Do you have any realistic goals in terms of timetable when you might be able to start baseball activity of any kind?
No, I mean, I guess in my head I do, but I hate putting timelines on anything. When you're talking about, injuries or surgeries, the last thing I want to do is, put expectations out that I may or may not be able to meet. So, it's kind of a daily process, and, I hate to oversimplify it, but, I think that, when we get to the point where, my body tells me that, hey, I think that, we can do this, then we'll try to do it and, kind of go from there. But, we're at a point where, certainly with, the history of the last couple of years and the three surgeries that I've had, I want to get it right. I want to, take my time, and I think the training staff and the doctors are, certainly being, helpful, albeit conservative, and that's a good thing because, certainly don't want to, like I said, rush back and have to take a few steps backwards.
How frustrating has this process been?
Certainly very frustrating. When you're used to doing something your entire life, it's kind of taken away from you. It is definitely, frustrating. And, every day I'm reminded when I come in and I see everybody else, get in uniform and go out there and do the things that I love to do, and I'm stuck in the training room, doing rehab stuff. I would say, frustration's an understatement, but, again, it'd be easy if I didn't have that, that drive to, get back out there. If it was just, if I didn't love what I did, it certainly would make things easier, but, I do love what I do, and like I said, when it's kind of abruptly taken away from you, I mentioned this earlier that, when it's all said and done, I want, me to be able to say, what, I did everything I could, and, if it works, that's obviously the goal, and if it doesn't work, then, I'll rest easy knowing that I gave it my best shot.
Is the mental part almost as tough as the physical?
Yeah, I would say the mental is, well, I guess the physical part would be playing, but the mental part certainly wears on you. Again, it's you come in here and you see everybody else, doing the things that you're accustomed to doing. You're talking about, I've been playing this game for a long time, and, I've been fortunate to be with this organization for a long time, and this time of year, it's, you come in with these, just these, big smile on your face, and you go out for the field for the first time. You meet your new teammates. You're pumped up, and for me, it's just, I'm excited to see everybody, but I don't get a chance to join in on all the fun right now, so that's certainly frustrating.
Dave, how confident are you that you can get back this season?
Well, I'm going to give it my best shot, certainly, and like I said, I probably have a lot of the same questions that you're asking me, and a lot of people are asking of me, because I just don't know. It's certainly been an uphill climb for me, and so I guess it's to honestly answer your question, I don't know. I'm not sure what the expectation is. I'd love to play again, but it's my body's got to hold up, and it's going to have to cooperate with me a little bit.
David, if you get to the point you're okay physically to go out there, just what's the level of concern? I mean, it'll be almost 2 years since you've played, about where your baseball skills are going to be, and if you can kind of recapture that.
Yeah, I mean, that's it's a good question. Again, I guess I won't know until I get a chance to get out there. I wouldn't say that. I would definitely say that. you know, it's more of a priority for me to get, you know, my body cooperating, and then I think I'm confident that I can get caught up to speed. You know, but I think the biggest hurdle for me is definitely going to be getting my body to cooperate. You know, and if I can do that, you know, I think that natural process of just, you know, getting caught up to that speed and getting that baseball things back, it's, you know, for me, it's always kind of been, you know, once you get out there and you see some live pitching, it's just kind of things just start kicking in, and it's kind of like riding a bike where you just kind of, you know, things start flowing again. You know, but yeah, I just got to get to the point now where, you know, I can physically do it.
Is there ever a point in this long process where you thought, you know, maybe it's time to hang it up, or maybe this is enough for me?
No, you know, as I said earlier, it'd be easier if I didn't have that passion for, you know, what I do. You know, I guess there's, you know, it's something to be said for, you know, it's you know, it's a decision I think every athlete wants to make, where it's, you know, they get to make that, you know, decision where you don't want your body making that decision for you. So, you know, I think that, you know, mindset is now as frustrating as it is, and as many questions as I have about myself as there is, the only thing I can do is to come in every day, try to, you know, do better than I did the day before in rehab. And then if, you know, we get to the point when, you know, I'm feeling good enough to give it a go, then I certainly want to give it a go. And you know, as Mike said, if then I get to the point where, you know, the team decides that, you know, that I'm helpful, that'll be helpful to them, then, you know, that's certainly their decision. But, you know, I want to get to that point where, you know, we have to make that decision.
David, with the Todd Frazier signing, did anyone in management reach out to you before it happened, and have you spoken to Todd since?
Jeff called me the night that it came out and said he just, you know, which, you know, I very much appreciated, said he wanted to give me a heads up that, you know, this was going to happen, and that certainly meant a lot to me. You know, and the way I look at it is, you know, we're certainly, in my opinion, a very good team without me, and you know, my mindset is we'll be a better team, you know, with both of us out there. So, you know, certainly a terrific player and somebody that I think is going to fit in well, you know, to this team. You know, I think his track record speaks for itself. I've gotten a chance to talk to Todd, you know, a few times, and you know, as far as both of us are concerned, it's you know, business as usual. And you know, I think both of us agree that you know, having all these options that we have, whether it's just not, you know, Todd and I, but, you know, Wilmer and Jose and Asdrubal and you know, Rosario, Dom Smith, Gonzo. I mean, it's just it's a good, you know, hopefully we get to the point where we have all those different quality options.
David, they've kind of patchworked together at third base, though, the last couple of years. You know, not sure whether you were going to come back. Do you feel like this is in any way like a concession by them, that they don't expect you to come back?
No, they got to do certainly what's best for them, and I understand that. You know, it's, you know, I think that when you don't play for as long as haven't, and you know, we've had, you know, a bit of a void there. You know, this team is in a position to compete, and they got to go out there and do what's best for them. So, you know, I don't blame them one bit. This organization's always treated me, you know, with the utmost respect, and I've been around so long. This is, for me, it's a family environment. I'm just not talking about the players. I'm talking about, you know, front office, ownership, you know, everybody. So the way that I've been treated has been more than fair, and probably more than I deserve. So, you know, these guys got to do what's best for this team, and I certainly think that, you know, it's a good fit.
Okay, going back to getting back, you played 3 games down here last year in the Florida State League. What did you learn from that?
That I needed back surgery and shoulder surgery. Yeah. Just I was having just a lot of trouble just doing things that should be coming easy for me. I knew that I was going to need the back surgery at some point. You know, we had talked about it. You know, and you know, after getting on the field and just routine stuff that, like I said, you know, I could do in my sleep, you know, just became a tremendous challenge for me. You know, and that's when, you know, we decided to just kind of go ahead and get the surgery. So, you know, I'm glad I did, and now it's just a matter of, you know, these things need time, they need rehab, and, you know, on top of that, you know, with you know, you won't know until you try it out. So again, you know, I hate to simplify it, but, you know, if my body cooperates, then, I can't wait to get back out there. And if it doesn't, then we'll try to figure something else out.
David, is there one issue, you mentioned the 3 surgeries, is there one issue that is more of a challenge to get back from right now than others, or is further ahead than others at this point?
No, I think we're kind of we planned the surgeries out so that we got the shoulder done first, and then the back done about a month later. So we planned it out so that we get to this point now where we're both kind of along the same track, the same path of the rehab schedule. So I wouldn't say that I don't know, because I haven't progressed to the point where I get to really test it out. I can go in there and do my rehab stuff, but that's not even anything close to what happens when you get out in this environment where it's not controlled and you have to reach and extend and swing and check swing and do all these things, run and do all the things that could tweak one or another. So right now it's just again, a lot of rehab stuff, but the true test is going to be when you kind of take me out of that controlled environment.
David, how difficult has it been for you, I guess, come to this realization? I mean, you mentioned you do everything you can to come back, but you said it might not happen. I mean, has that been difficult to come to that reality, I guess?
Well, I would say, yeah. I mean, I've had a hard time with it, certainly. But I guess you do what you can do, and you do everything in your power, and the biggest thing is I don't want to, when it's all said and done, say, man, I wish I would have done this, or I wish I would have done that. You do it, and then it's out of your control. I mean, I challenge myself every day to be the best rehab patient that I possibly can be, and that's kind of the competitiveness side of me that I'm missing out on the field, that I still can challenge myself in there. And again, if it works out, that's certainly the goal, and if not, I did everything I could do. I mean, it's as simple as that.
What are you doing in rehab right now?
Well, it's for me, it's a with both my shoulder and my back, there's only so much you can kind of do on a daily basis. So we try to break it up so that we concentrate on back stuff one day, then we go to like upper body, shoulder stuff the next day, and we go back and forth throughout the week. Where you can't just solely focus on one thing and then not give the attention to the other thing that I need. So, it's certainly time consuming, and I appreciate, I try to stay out of the way of everybody in there that's healthy and getting ready for this. So, we worked out a time slot that, I appreciate the time with the therapists and the trainers in there, and the time that they're giving me, knowing that they have, however many other healthy guys that they got to get ready to play. But it's a lot of stuff that I guess typically I would be doing, because you can't just focus on the shoulder rehab and back rehab, and then you get to the point where you're ready to start running around and you haven't done anything for your legs and you pull a hamstring. So it's still trying to stay, I guess, in decent shape, but also really focusing on those areas that need the rehab, that have had the surgery and have certainly been an obstacle the last couple of years.
Are you doing strengthening?
Mm-hmm.
And then are you running at all?
No.
Okay.
No, I think that's part of that progression that I'm talking about. That maybe in the back of my mind and the therapist's mind that he has an idea, but certainly not ready to give any timelines, just because it's kind of a fluid situation. So we're just working on a daily basis.
Overall, David, when you're doing your rehab stuff, or even when you're just doing regular day-to-day stuff, picking up your kid, getting out of bed, I mean, how does your body feel compared to maybe where it did a year ago or 2 years ago?
That's a good question. I guess I don't know. I get reminders for sure, but for instance, like my back surgery, that was to help alleviate some of the pain that I was having. That's not going to fix the problem. Like with the back, the stenosis term's been thrown out, and it's very general. It's a general, I guess, term. So when the doctors went in there, they noticed that, part of the pushing on those nerves was due to a herniated disc, some bone spurs, a bad ligament. So they did the surgery to remove all those things to give me a better chance to alleviate some of that pressure and some of the pain that I was having. So, you know, I'm hoping that it feels better. But I guess you won't really know until you know, I do some of those things that I was talking about that you can't, you know, it's not that controlled environment that I keep talking about.
David, is the weight you lost a byproduct of not being able to work out mostly?
Yeah, I think so. You know, my off-season workouts, I'm accustomed to, you know, obviously working out and what I think is working out hard, and you know, that's been taken away the last couple of years just from, you know, you can't load up things to my body the way I kind of used to just because of the different, you know, circumstances that we're under. So, and I mean, we're talking about as far as my weight now and the weight when I was playing, it's not that big of a difference. You know, maybe it's, you know, I'm losing a little bit of muscle, but the weight itself, you know, isn't a huge number. So, yeah, I would say that has mostly to do just from kind of my off-season routine.
Yeah, some guys on the deal kind of say that they like don't feel like they're part of the team sometimes, like, you know, because they have so much other stuff to do, or like there's taboo, you know, like, get away from me, like you're hurt or whatever. But have you felt like you're part of the team? Like, is it hard to?
I mean, these guys, yeah, these guys do a really nice job of, you know, making me feel like I'm part of the team. But yeah, I would say you're right. I mean, it's tough to feel like you're part of the team when when you haven't played, you know. So it's, I don't think it's hard for me to speak up. I just think that, you know, like I said, you get this feeling that you want to be in there on the field with the guys. You want to go through those ups and downs. You want to feel what they're feeling, and it's definitely tough to do that when you're not part of the game, certainly. But like I said, these guys have really done a good job in you know, whether it's down here in Florida or whether I'm up there in New York with the guys. You know, they definitely make me feel, you know, like I'm part of the team. I think it's just hard for me to feel like, you know, you're in there grinding out with them when you're more of a spectator than an actual player.
There's been a decent amount of change here from, you know, coaches to medical staff to Mickey. What have you thought of all of them? You were used to Terry the last 7 years. What do you think of Mickey?
Yeah, I think it's great. You know, obviously I really got along with Terry and you know, some of the other coaches that aren't back that I've gotten to know them for so long. I mean, for example, you know, Dan Worthen. You know, Dan Worthen was my pitching coach in A-ball. You know, so we came up together. You know, you develop those relationships, but as you know, throughout the course of you know, season after season, that you know, sometimes you know, probably unfairly to them, the finger gets pointed in their direction when things don't go the way they're expected to. You know, with that being said, I think that you know, making the managerial change and the coaching staff changes that they've made, I mean, these guys are A+. You know, Mickey just feels like he's got such a sense of his finger on the pulse in there. Maybe, you know, and just you hear great things, you know, about him and the rest of the guys, you know, that they brought over. So, you know, I think it's going to be, great for the team. I think it's going to be great for the organization. You know, and he seems like the kind of guy that, you know, is in this kind of for the long haul, and I think could be, you know, a staple for this organization for a long time. Because, like I said, you see that that desire and that passion that he has for not just the position, the manager's position, but for his players. I mean, the way that he's reached out and communicated, you know, his organization, the way that, you know, he asked for the players' opinion and things like that. I mean, it's just been, you know, it's been fun so far, and hopefully, you know, I get a chance to play for him because, you know, I think it'd be a lot of fun.
David, Chipper Jones had said last month that he was saddened by, you know, seeing your injuries, and he thinks that, you know, it may cost you the Hall of Fame. Is that, you know, do you think about that?
No, that's very nice of Chipper. You know, Chipper and I have, you know, become, you know, fairly close over the years, and you know, a ridiculous, probably undeserved compliment, you know, from Chipper. But I've never thought about, you know, things. Maybe it'd be fun, you know, when I'm done playing to, you know, sit back and, you know, maybe look at a highlight video. But I've never really thought about what it's going to be like, you know, I guess after I'm done playing. But very nice words from Chipper, and I appreciate that.
What is your main motivation for getting back on the field?
just that I love playing. You know, I love you know, getting out there and grinding it out with the guys. You know, I love you know, there's a different mindset, you know, when you're showing up to the ballpark, you're showing up to Citi Field at, you know, 1 or 2 o'clock every day when you're getting ready to play. You know, you start thinking about the opposing pitcher the night before, how he attacks you, how the game plan, and, you know, when you're not playing, it's just, you lose that edge, that mental battle of the game, you know, and that's one of the things I miss the most is just you know, the challenges that come along with kind of playing every day and playing this game and the cat and mouse game. Yeah, you just lose that I guess that sharpness that you have when you're playing all the time.
We're good?
Thanks a lot, Dave.
You pointed out only one good question.
Yeah, it was a good question.
I actually think he pointed out Puma too.